Welcome to Wholesale Hotline, where we cover everything to do with wholesale real estate. I'm Jamil Damji.
I'm Brent Daniels.
And I am Pace Morby.
And together we cover the most important parts of wholesale real estate.
Lead generation.
Conversion of sellers into contracts.
And dispositions. Guys, remember when you're watching this show, do us a favor and squad up in the comments.
Make sure that you are liking and subscribing to the YouTube channels and in the Facebook group Wholesale Hotline.
Most important, we want to know we're doing a great job for you and helping you build your business. So go give us a review on iTunes and or Spotify.
So squad up and enjoy the show.
Here we go. Wholesale Hotline number 93. And we know on this show that we don't get what we want. We get what we attract. And we have attracted an incredible guest on this show today. It is the clever investor. It is Cody Sperber. Say hello to the Wholesale Hotline crowd.
This is fun. I need my intro with me like dancing.
Yeah, you can.
Like I need the cool intro.
We're gonna have to edit that up, guys. All right, we're gonna have to do that. But we're excited here. Pace is at home. Jamil is at soon to be his new beach home.
Yeah, congrats, Jamil. That's
where's
awesome.
that? Laguna.
It is in Marina del Rey.
There you go. Beautiful. Fantastic. And so he just signed on his closing docs there and is excited to close. I hope the next, are you going to stay in California for the next show? Or are you going to
I'm getting on a plane on Wednesday afternoon when I get the tea and I'm coming home.
Good. Awesome. And Pace, how was your Thanksgiving? Did you have a good Thanksgiving? Or did you do it right? Did the whole family get together, all 1,000 Morbies, or is it just you?
I did not. I went from the Thrive event that Cody put on with.
That's right.
I don't even know. Cody has just had an event with like probably 8,000 people tuned into the Thrive event. Him and his partner Cole Hatter in that event. I left that event, went right to LA with Jamil. And it was crazy. I posted that Instagram story of us having dinner with Edie Amin from the Outlaws and Tupac. And I had so many people DM me and they go, dude, do you have any idea how legendary that is that you sat down with the Outlaws? I was like, well, bro, Jamil's been friend with these guys for like 6-7 years. Like, it is crazy to think that millions and millions of people have been like worshiping those guys, and those guys have changed people's hustle mentality. And we sat down and had dinner with him, and he's your freaking friend.
Bro,
that's what I did for Thanksgiving.
It's an incredible journey we're on in life, right? I think about what I got to experience last week in Vegas. You know, Edie is like a homie, and so it's funny. You kind of take your friends for granted. They're special to you, but they're not as special to you as other people that you might look up to in life. And I'm just reeling off of the Thrive event. I don't, if the folks that are in the comments right now, if you guys didn't make it to Thrive, you guys missed out. Like, no joke, the best entrepreneurship live event I've ever seen, experienced, and was able to be a part of, even small. Got to see you, Pace, tear up the stage. Got to see Andy Frisella tear up the stage. Sean Whalen tear up the stage. Cody basically gave the entire game of Instagram away on his presentation. I don't know how, if the people in that audience did one slide of what Cody presented in his presentation at Thrive, we'll have influencers. We'll have 8,000 new influencers coming into the space in the next year.
Well, let's talk about that. I mean, give us a little, just a little bit of that, because one of the themes for this year, the main theme for this year is get loud.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't shy away, get loud, document what you're doing. Even if you've never done a deal before, like, show yourself driving for dollars, show yourself walking through an ugly house, show yourself making calls or knocking on doors or whatever else. Like, how can people get better and more comfortable with social media?
Well, I mean, I think for me, I love that you guys are pushing people to get out there, because I remember in the beginning how scary it was to be on video,
Yes.
you know, and like I would record myself doing things, and I would feel like, you ever leave a voicemail and you feel like, I don't sound like that.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I sound a lot more manlier in my head, but
Right.
I sound like a little girl on a voicemail.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I would record a video and then I get anxiety and nervous, so I would delete it.
Yeah.
And I remember going through those emotions, but by making video a core competency, especially now, it's so much easier with live and all the tools with social media. And so if you don't have a personal brand, if you're not putting yourself out there, and I love how you said, even if you're new, documenting the process, like your friends, your family, they're not gonna see the consistency, they're not gonna see the hustle, and they're not gonna buy into what you're doing. Yeah. And ultimately, a personal brand is just that consistent action over a long period of time with that messaging that you will refine over time. People see me now and they're like, dude, how are you so smooth on stage, on video? Well, I wasn't.
Right.
I screwed up 1,000 times, and over time I would get like bits. You know what I'm talking about.
Reps too. I mean, it's also
reps.
getting used to something that's new.
And and the reason I like Instagram and I like YouTube, because the quality of a YouTube subscriber is the best.
Yeah.
If you're trying to sell anything, if you're trying to get deals, like YouTube is the best platform for that. But for a personal brand, Instagram by far best platform. And so
why is that?
It's hackable. It's a hackable, and it's consumable real fast, right? Okay. So like you don't have to put a lot of thought. You don't need, like, I'm standing in this studio right now. You guys can't see. I mean, there's tens of thousands of dollars worth of camera equipment.
Oh yeah.
And you don't need that with Instagram, right? You can just with your cell phone, get on and create some content. So what I did is I just showed them that it's a hackable platform, that there's a formula to follow.
Okay.
Nobody's going to land on your page and stick if your page sucks. So like, let's clean up house. If you're, Sexy Investor 69, let's get a better name.
Right.
Let's get the wall posted.
That was Jamil's actually for a while. Sexy Investor 69.
Hey, I want to know.
It was just an owl. It was just a picture of an owl. He was Sexy Investor 69.
We got to work on.
But he changed it. Now look at him.
He's killing it. And I see Jamil has his blue check. So hey, big time now. Hey, so where's your blue check, dude?
Bro, I have had somebody working on it for 9 months, and I'm switching over to somebody else to work on it. So
I got a guy if you need help.
I know you. Last time we were on the phone, you told me you'd help me. I just needed to give this other guy like 2 more weeks, but you are 100% right. Because I've got 5 accounts hacking my followers right now. I need to get the blue check, dude.
You gotta get the blue check.
So anyway, I sent a guy money that I thought was you.
Bro, what?
Send a coin to random people.
While we're on the topic just for a minute about social media, I want to say a couple of things. After I left the Thrive event, anytime you're around people like Cody Sperber, Cole Hatter, and all these guys, it's insane how connected they are and how elevated their frequency is. And so I left there. I sat in my car before I took off to Phoenix, and I made a list of 10 things I needed to accomplish before I even got home in 6 hours. Okay. And one of those was I need an operations manager, like for another one of my businesses. I need another operations manager. We had been working with a recruiting company for 9 months trying to fill this role. 9 months. Guys, with one post on Instagram, I filled that role. Okay. And she's unbelievable. She's actually, I just left a meeting with her and my partners. Unbelievable. So if you're not using social media, you're not going to be able to recruit people for your business. You're not going to be able to raise private capital. I probably raised $3 million in private money this year alone without even trying, right?
Yeah.
You're telling your story. What happens is people go, oh man, that's a trustworthy person. If I'm going to invest in anything, I want to invest in that person. In fact, I get people that DM me on Instagram and go, yo, I don't even care what it is. I just want to invest in what you're up to, right? Of course, they vet the deal. We, goes through a title company and all that kind of stuff. But raising capital, recruiting people are the unsung, amazing benefits of social media. It's not about, getting likes and followers. It's about letting people know who you are so that you can attract amazing people to your circle. Look what I show up to this event. Cody is telling Jim Quick, yeah, you're on stage and form. Hey, we got you, man. And then he's talking to, Jesse Itzler, and then he's talking to Andy Frisella, like, bro, it's insane who you're connected to and how many people respect you at such a freaking high level. It's fun just to be in your vortex.
That's amazing. That's almost 18 years of getting my ass kicked trying to kick in the door.
Right.
Because nobody will let you in the front door.
Yeah.
That's the thing, that everybody tries to come in the front door. They think people are going to roll out a red carpet for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the way it works. You got to serve and serve and serve your way in. Dude, I just want to say, Jamil, for the short amount of time you were up there, you rocked the house. Loved having you at Thrive and up on the stage. And Pace, I was very proud of you, man. You did a talk. You finally sidestepped, like you went lateral and you did an entrepreneur talk. You're so good at the real estate talk.
Mm-hmm.
It was refreshing and cool to see you elevate your speaking game and do an entrepreneur talk. I had a lot of people come to me afterwards and say that you were one of their favorite speakers. So great.
Oh
job.
my gosh. Thank
Look
you.
at that.
Killed it,
Bro,
dude.
it was an interesting
you
thing.
know
I barely made it on time because of some things that happened right before it. And when I went to the media team behind the scenes, I said, hey, here's my slide deck. I'm going to go through this. And they couldn't get it to work because the Wi-Fi wasn't working. So I literally just had to go off the top of my head. And thank you for the compliment. It makes me feel a lot better.
Pace.
Yeah.
You know what it is. Come on.
Dude, here's the thing though. Cody, I'm gonna tell you something. Is I know we're gonna get into real estate for people that are showing up to the show. We've got 400 plus people watching the show live today. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna get into real estate, give you guys some real tangible, executable items to finish out the year and to launch into 2022. But before I do that, I want to thank Cody personally, because Cody, you've made phone calls to me. You've opened the front door for me and given me opportunities. You've locked arms with me and you've shown me a path and opened opportunities to me that I wouldn't have without you. I'm in your debt and I appreciate you tremendously. And watching you and Jamil hang out and all of that kind of stuff, it was a magical week for me and it wouldn't have happened without you. And I appreciate you tremendously. Anything I can do for you and your company, if anything, I will figure out what it is and I will bring it to you.
Thank you. Yeah. And you know why I did it?
I know why you did it.
I did it because I feel the love and energy that you're putting into this community. And it's so refreshing to see. I've told you this a million times. There's so many whack educators out there, so many bozos that just are trying to sell a course or whatever. You guys are building community. And that's the key. When Clever first hit, I put so much energy and love into the community. But I'm old, man. I'm tired. You guys are killing it right now. You've been so consistent. Would you say you guys haven't missed a show in how long?
93 weeks.
93. I mean, that's dedication and love and servitude. And that's what it takes, man, to change lives. So you're not in my debt. I'm grateful to see you guys and what you're doing and where you're taking this business. Cause I got it off the ground. Now you guys got to elevate it.
I tell people all the time, Cody Sperber took the machete, cut through the jungle, and all we're doing is following down that path. And we appreciate you doing that, brother. Thank you so much.
And just for the viewers,
one of our
real quick,
go ahead,
I want to real quickly just say this, for a lot of people don't understand or know this, but my two business partners, Josiah and Hunter, Josiah was Cody's intern. Hunter was one of Cody's top students. Like he graduated at a Clever Investor, a baby. He was a part of his 100K club. I mean,
Look, Jamil, I'm sure Hunter told you, but Hunter was scared to talk to anybody. He was a young kid, had never done business, living with his mom. His mom actually sold me furniture one time. That's how it all connected. She worked at Lazy Boy. He was scared to talk to people.
Yeah.
And that's your whole thing.
That's
talk to people. And he was like, nope, not going to do it.
Right.
And so we leaned in on what he was great at, which was technology. And we formulated the DM strategy through where he was in his life and how much time he was willing to spend on his computer DMing. And the co-wholesaling thing for him came natural. So we leaned in on that and he lit up. He built buyers list faster than anybody on planet Earth.
I got like 1,000 DMs from Hunter.
I couldn't believe how fast he did it.
Yeah.
If you guys hadn't leaned into that, he sold me 50 deals like that.
Yeah.
Cody, 50 houses. Hunter
Wait, without talking to you one time?
Without ever speaking to me one time, he sold me 50 houses through Facebook Messenger.
Yep. And the lesson in that for anybody listening is like, look, for me, I was nervous to talk to people. That phone weighed 1,000 pounds. I worked through it because I had a great mentor that kind of coached me through it.
Yep.
But as you're struggling and working through that process, go sidestep, hammer the DMs, utilize technology, automate some stuff, figure out other ways to get the job done. Don't just sit there paralyzed in fear.
Yeah.
There's a way, there's a path. And we did that with Hunter, and obviously you guys know the rest of the story.
Well, it's still proactive. He still had to reach out. People weren't going to just throw him deals. He was still reaching out all the time. And he had that little face on there that looked like he was like 13 years old. And I was like, what is going on here? And he kept going. But the one thing that I would tell you is the key to him really ramping it up is he was always responsive. He would always
Instantly,
text you back. He would always be on it. He was obsessed. He wasn't going to get on the phone, but he was absolutely obsessed with responding to anybody about anything. Even if you told him to die or don't send you anymore, he would send you, okay, sorry, no problem, boom. He would always be on it. And he's just a driven dude. So that's incredible. I had no idea that you guys put that together. That's incredible.
Well, yeah. So obviously I don't want to take too much credit, but I am kind of a badass.
Yeah,
And so I was doing it on LinkedIn and Facebook, and we were building buyers lists in all these different states. And he took that and ran with it. But what I loved about what he did is he took the best of what I did and he added on. And anytime somebody does that, and I started using his stuff. Once I saw what he was doing, I was like, why didn't I think of that? That's a no-brainer. And he just elevated the whole system. So
love it. Everybody's excited to have you on here. This is great. Yeah. This is absolutely phenomenal. Real quick, before we really start cracking this thing open, I think it's important because you're going to see in the comments a lot here, Cody, that they talk about squatting up, right? Getting around people that have the same goals as you. So somebody that has that same passion. I think that, real estate entrepreneurs were just built with a different kind of brain, right? Entrepreneurs in itself are kind of built with this interesting brain that wants to go out there and wants more control and wants to live wants to live a non-normal life, right? Go out there and really make a difference, provide a ton of value and get the rewards for that. I mean, you started this 18 years ago, right? Doing some mail, doing some
2003,
deals, doing some wholesaling, right? And then that progressed to now,
we do it all.
Right.
We do it all now. Yeah. Obviously wholesaling is such a great gateway to get in.
Yeah.
But my mentor hated wholesaling.
Okay.
He didn't understand why I would do it.
Sure.
He's like, dude, you're not wealth building. You just got a high paying job. You got to stop it. You got to keep, you got to own. And I didn't get it. And nor did I care because I was so broke. I just wanted money.
That's it.
I just needed cash. So it's been cool though, because
but then the game is and surround yourself and squat it up. You've always been squatting up.
Yeah. And when the birth of the online stuff happened, I leaned in on building my brand online, and I was spending, eventually when Clever started, I was spending millions and millions of dollars on ads.
Right.
So I was pretty much out there, but I made it a strategy. Every single person that I put on a list, like once a year, I would make a list of people I wanted to get close to.
Sure.
And I would study them and I would watch what they post. I would watch what they were into. And like, for me, I'm already thinking like, okay, what's with the Bulls jacket? Like how, like the bananas, like I'm just paying attention, because like, if I want to get proximity to a Brett Daniels, I'm going to pay attention to the cool stuff that you're into.
Right.
You're going to start eating bananas like crazy.
Yeah. And like Pace today, I got a really amazing gift in the mail, a really cool pen. It didn't have a name on it. So I had to hunt down and figure out who sent me this pen. And my assistant came in and said, it was Pace who sent you the pen. You sent me the pen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to say thank you. That gift of gift giving, that giftology, just that nice gesture, plants a little seed. Like, man, Pace is a good dude, And so I would study the people I wanted to get close to.
How did your assistant know?
I don't know how to assist. I just told her, figure it out. And she popped her head back in and said, Pace sent it to you. And I'm like, man.
I'm going to give you, while you're doing this is not to toot my own horn, but I want to hammer this point home. The reason your assistant knows, Nikki, is because I showed her more love after the event than I showed anybody else love. Jamil and I bought her a $500 gift and we sent it to her anonymously, and she figured out it was me. And I sent her a really nice text message and I told her, hey, I watched you put that event together, and Cody gave you a lot of love, but most people in that room didn't even know that you were providing value to them. And so again, Jamil and I got that pen for you as well, just to say, hey man, love and appreciate what you did for us. Thank you so much. It's a small token. But your assistant, right? Showing love to the people around the people you're trying to get proximity to is very important as well. So guys, like what Cody is saying is so vital. You need to pay attention to what he's talking about with proximity. Keep going, man. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Well, just let's say I want to get around like a Dan Fleischman. Yeah. I know if I'm watching Dan, he's the most connected man in the world. He's been my business partner for years. I'm sitting there and like Mark Wahlberg will call him, or Kim Kardashian, or like Lil Wayne. Like you're just tripping out like how many people he has in his Rolodex.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, a guy who's rich, travels the world, knows everybody. What does somebody like that need? Well, he runs a nonprofit called Model Citizens Fund, and they build backpacks for homeless people. So it's like, if I want in with Dan, I'm going to donate to his nonprofit and send him a note saying, hey man, I just love what you're doing. I just supported it, and this is what I donated, just to plant the seed. Like I'm backing you and what you're doing. And then next thing you know, if through consistently showing up at these events, and all this stuff, next thing you know, it was like, hey, let's start a business. Let's have you speak. I already have people reaching out because I have Clever Summit coming up in May. The end of April, beginning of May. I want it to be the largest investing, bigger than real estate. I want to have 2,000 in-person people there. Pace, Jamil, you guys are definitely going to get involved. I'll get you over there. And it's going to be crypto, virtual real estate, NFTs. It's going to be bigger than just regular real estate. And I'm going to have, my goal is to have 50,000 people watching us. I don't know if I can hit it, but I'm going to go for it. I'm going to give all my marketing firepower to it.
You'll get it.
And but it's because of all speaking on stage and stuff, I'm going to be able to leverage my relationships, get the Kiyosaki's of the world and the big names to come and speak.
Yeah.
So
but you're talking about networking with these huge guys. People have problems going and talking to somebody at a RIA. You know what I mean?
I get nervous around these guys.
And going and having these conversations. And
join a mastermind.
But you lead with
that's
value.
The fastest path to break in. Jamil and Pace just joined Avengers because I want them to be able to have. They don't need me anymore. I want to just bridge the gap. Let them get in the same room of everybody. They're great networkers. They add tons of value, and let them take it from there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Yeah. And anybody who's like, I don't know if I want to cut a 7,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 or in my case 30,000. I run a high level mastermind that's $100K for entrepreneurs outside the real estate space. We have 100 members that all stroked $100,000 check. Every person in that room is a G. I'm in the room and I'm nervous. Like I don't even talk half the time. It's my own mastermind. I'm like, I'm just sitting there because I study. Because I want the barrier to entry to be so big for them. And that everybody in the room is amazing. And so in the real estate stuff, they're now in, and they're gonna make tens of millions of dollars. I already know it from the relationships they meet in the room. 30 grand is nothing. And a lot of people have that broken mindset with money. Like that's a lot of money. No, this is an investment. That 30K is going to last you the next 30 years in value. So stroke that check and let's go get by proximity, because people are slow. You want to slow play it, and money loves speed. So you got to go.
Well, it's funny, and these guys know the story. I mean, I joined Wholesaling Inc. because Tom Kroll was phenomenal, and I wanted to be around Tom Kroll. And then I just started talking to him, and then he's like, "Hey, you want to coach?" I was like, "Let's do this thing." And then TTP went off since 2017, but that was just getting in and really understanding, like, how can I provide value to his community? Because I was posting and responding and telling people about how you can pick up the phone and call people. You don't have to send out mail or do online ads or doing these other things. And boom, that's what it is. It's the same story over and over and over and over. Do you guys agree?
That's it. 100%.
Yep. Awesome. Should we get to some questions here? Do we have questions, or are people just pumped?
We'll get guys, start filling up some questions. We can tell Cody's story, whatever. But I want to talk about something just real quick with one meeting. Okay, one meeting on Friday. last week during the Thrive event. Jamil and I walk into this room. Cody introduces us to one person, Dave Allred. Right? Just one person. He's not even on social media, right? I mean, he might post about like turkey legs and shooting animals and stuff like that, but like you wouldn't know that guy is a conduit to getting massive deals done, multifamily, etc. That one introduction will save somebody 10 years of their life and help you make tens of millions of dollars. So proximity is critical. $30,000 is not even a price to pay. It's like, where do I send the freaking check?
Smart. And by the way, Dave, so this is the domino effect. Dave, who's also a member of Avengers, is partners with Aaron Wagner, who's my business partner. And Aaron Wagner and both of them run Axia Fund, and they own a bunch of other funds. So you're about to start leapfrogging through the whole Utah crew. And before you know it, the amount of money these guys are moving on a monthly basis, I'm talking about tens of millions, sometimes 50 million in a month. Like, these guys are playing the game at a very high level. All the crumble cookie businesses, they own hundreds of restaurants. Everbowl, like, now you're going to start to get insider access to business opportunities that are inside and outside the real estate space. Like, I'm one of the investors. We're part of a private investor group where we bought into Cauliflower Foods, and we brought the deal to the Avengers. My business partner Bryant, who's over there behind the scenes, he jumped in on it. My other partner Garrett jumped in on it. But we're buying companies now that are worth $20 million plus in its current at like a 10 million valuation. So we're getting these insider discounted deals that now you'll have access to. You'll make your 30K back. I mean, within minutes, if you pay attention and leverage those resources.
Cody, we were invited to join, and of course, Pace and I are thrilled and honored to be able to do that. But what about our viewers? Is it something that they could reach out to you about if someone was interested in understanding how to be a part of the Avengers? What would that look like, and how do they do that?
Yeah. So, and I don't want this to be a pitch for Avengers. That's not my intention here.
It's just an honest thing we believe in.
Yeah. It's for active investors. It's not for somebody who's brand new. If you've never done a deal, the only way you could get in is if you're an accredited investor. So you're killing it in your other business, making tons of money, and you want to park money or get around real estate operators. Otherwise, you have to be an active deal maker. Now, if you are, and you go to AvengersMastermind.com, there's a little video. We don't do it. This is not a normal mastermind. You don't sit around and like talk real estate the whole time. We have it's an experiential mastermind. We bring in the biggest celebrities and speakers and thought leaders in the world. And I mean, I'm talking about, like I just was telling you, like Nas is like right here rapping in a private concert, like spitting on my face. Like the proximity to some of these. We had 2 Chainz, Lil Wayne. We're big on the rap thing for some reason. We got who else did we have? Wiz Khalifa. Like, just crazy stuff happens randomly at our events, and then we bring in the Shaqs and the big celebrities. And all
What's
that.
an accredited investor? Somebody's asking.
Yeah, accredited investor is somebody who I believe has.
You have to have $1 million net worth, or you have to make $250,000 a year.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and then if you apply, it's just a little application process. It's $30,000. We do have a payment plan. Most people don't take it because it costs a little bit more, but we could, break it up into payments if you need to. We spend 100% of the money back on you guys. We don't make money from the mastermind. The whole point of the whole thing is to get badasses in a room together, do cool stuff, and then actually do real estate deals. In business together. So put down Wholesale Hotline or Pace or Jamil or
Brent.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you put down. Just notify us that that's where you guys came from, and we'll make sure that we can track and see who applied.
Yeah, awesome.
We got a whole bunch of questions filling up in the chat, guys. We are on our way to 500 live viewers today. Thank you so much. Obviously,
there we go.
Cody Sperber is on the screen. You guys tune in, you stick around because of the Clever Investor. Here's a great question. Hey guys, I have a question. I have a flip I'm trying to do and I need funding for. I have a bankruptcy on my credit report. Is there a lending company you can reference for me? A lending company that we use in my company is called myinvestorloan.com. And the fact that it's called an investor loan, you don't need credit, right? They're a hard money lender. They do two types of loans for us. One, they do the purchase of a fix and flip for us. So they'll give us 90% of our purchase and 90% of our renovation, myinvestorloan.com. They will also, if we're doing the BRRRR, they will also give us long-term money, 30-year fixed at 4% interest. And it does not require me to not have a bankruptcy or a foreclosure or whatever. A lot of hard money lenders, Kata, a lot of hard money lenders, literally wherever you are, I could do it right now on Google and I could type in Arizona hard money lender and Google won't even be able to show you how many websites there are. There is too many people that will give you money, even if you have a bankruptcy on your credit report.
Yeah. Explain asset-based lending, Pace.
So asset-based lending is the fact that your lender is giving you money for a tangible asset, a home, right? So they know that if you default, they're going to take the house back. They can recover their funds. And so they're less likely to care about your credit because they care more about the asset that they're basing the loan off of. So they don't look at you. They look at the house as the asset. And they go, I'm not really lending on you. I'm lending on the fact that you bought this at a great price. And no matter what happens, you default, you screw up the construction. Which I don't want to do, I can take that house back over, recoup my money, and I have a no loss scenario. So they're basing it off of the asset, not basing off of you. That is what a hard money lender will do. The challenge with hard money lenders, guys, is a lot of them ask you for some down payments. That's where needing private capital comes from, right? Yep. They'll ask you for a down payment. You can get your down payment from a variety of different places. One, go to plastique.com. Have you guys ever used plastique.com? It's dope.
No.
Swipe your credit card or punch in your credit card number and Plastique will send you a check for whatever dollar amount off your credit card. So if you need a $20,000 down payment on a loan, go to plastique.com. That's PLASTIQ. Plastique.com. I get paid nothing to say that. We just used to use it years ago. And they'll mail you a check for 20 grand. You use that 20 grand to go put a down payment on your hard money loan. And now you've got a fix and flip with no cash out of your pocket. Right. So asset-based lending, you don't need any of your own money, guys.
Yeah, Kate, just make sure it's a smoking hot deal.
I was just going to say, man,
Yes,
you leverage your credit card to get into a hard money loan. You better know your numbers.
Or here's the other two ways you can get money. Okay. Here's the other two ways. Number two, first way is use credit cards if you really want to. Number two, find somebody in the comments here, guys. I see people, millions of dollars that are exchanging in our comments where people are squatting up with each other. One person has the capital, the other person has the deal. Okay, so squat up with each other, do some sort of partnership split. I've given away partnership agreements over and over and over and over. If you guys need a partnership agreement, let me know. You guys can set up an agreement. A third way to do it is actually just borrow money from a friend or a family member or a private money investor. I'm sure that Cody Sperber has millions of dollars. Brent Daniels has millions of dollars. I know Jamil has millions of dollars, and I have millions of dollars of other people's money in our deals. So guys, even people at a very high level we're not using our own cash to go and buy real estate. We're leveraging either creative finance or we're leveraging other people's money at the very tippy top level.
But that comes back to being loud about what you're doing. People will throw money at you if you're showing all these opportunities, if you're showing the energy behind your efforts, if you're showing like an attitude that you are going to go out there and find the ugliest properties and do something incredible with them, right? If you have that like, really, I want to go out there, I want to change the face of this neighborhood and make it look better. I'm going to find that owner. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to knock on that door. I'm going to call him. I'm going to text him. I'm going to DM him, whatever it takes to find that owner and get that deal and do something special on the street. You do that over and over. People will, you do that 3 times and document it. People will throw money at you. I'm telling you, people will throw unlimited amount. You're going to find people that you never thought would throw money at you. I'm telling you. And that's how you start. And then you build up that resume and you build up those deals and you start with houses and then you start progressing from there.
Okay. So here's something really quick. You see on the screen, you've got Alonzo saying partnership agreement, squat up. Here's what I'm going to do for you guys. I'm not going to give anybody this partnership agreement. It cost me about $1,500 to have Sean St. Clair. You guys, we've had Sean St. Clair, my attorney, on the show. I spent $1,500 to have this written properly. And the way I wrote it was specifically for two parties to come together to partner on a deal just one time, like a JV agreement. Okay. I will give you this partnership agreement, but I'm only going to give it to you through one of the students. So find a sub 2, an Astro, or a TTP student. I want you to squad up with them, get to know them, and say, if you're one of their students, I want access to that partnership agreement, and our students will give that to you guys. It's my way of forcing you to squad up and make some friends. Unfortunately, I have to force you guys to do that.
Let's open that up to Clever students as well. So if they're a part of Astro, TTP, Sub 2, or Clever Investor, you can get access to this partnership agreement.
Love it.
Awesome.
100%. So guys, squad up in the comments. I want to see you guys blowing up. If you're a TTP, an Astro, a Sub 2, or a Clever student, please put it in the side chat so other people who are non-students can link in with you guys, become friends, and within the next 24 hours, we'll send out an email or we'll post it in our private Facebook groups that our students can download, share with you guys, and work with each other on those types of things.
Awesome.
Love it, love it, love it.
As well as Flip Me students. Sorry, Gerardo, we meant to add that as well.
Check this out. Kyle Allen says, just got $60,000 from a LinkedIn follower that's been watching my videos.
For
guys,
real. Listen, guys, this isn't rocket science. Document what you're doing. Get excited about what you're doing. Be loud. You're going to find people will throw it at you. People will, I mean, nobody's been louder than you in real estate for what, 10 years?
People, I remember when, because for a long time, I actually drove a piece of crap car and I reinvested all my money and stuff. But from a marketing perspective, one day I got it in my head. I'm like, you know what? I sacrificed long enough. I'm going to get loud.
Yeah.
And so I started buying Lamborghinis and putting it out there and all that stuff. And I remember I had so many people being like, you shouldn't do this. Right. This is a bad move. Right. You're going to be like slimy. And I'm like, look, you just relax. Yeah. I'm going to be so loud and consistent with this that people will eventually get on board. And, you know, now people don't even recognize me, and they're like, until it clicks, and they're like, oh, you're the Lambo guy. And I'm like, oh, shit worked. Yeah. You know, I just kept at it consistently. But I will say this, leverage is power in this business. And Pace, you nailed it. What I did when I first got in, because I was doing some wholesale deals, but when I needed to actually get a loan, I was leveraging my mentor's credibility and my mentor's money and other people around me's money. I wasn't trying to put 10 or 20% down to get into a deal. Right. I didn't even know how to do the deal. So my first few deals, like everything was just source the dang thing, find somebody you can partner with and figure out how you can create that partnership. And then I created a brag book on other people's deals. Yeah. So because I wasn't good yet and I didn't have credibility, I created this binder where I would have example deals of deals in my area that I would walk around with, like literally, and I would come to a meeting and I would slap it down on the table and it would make a big thud. And they'd be like, what is that? I'm like, oh, that's my brag book. And it wasn't even my deals. It was a bunch of example deals and stuff of other wholesalers or other rehabbers, before and afters and all that. Yeah. And before you know it, people started going like, oh, these are the types of deals you do. Yeah, these are exactly what I do. And they're like, well, can I get involved? Absolutely. Like, yeah, you can, I guess. You know, let's talk about it on the next one. So document, when you say document, create a brag book.
Let me show you this to you guys real quick. If you have a mentor, I know Cody does this, Brent and Jamil do this type of stuff. Let me show you guys just on a screen share exactly what he's talking about. So if you look at my email right here, you can see that with my students, I will email their clients. Okay. I will give addresses. I will give testimonials. I'll give HUDs. You guys can see the HUD. Look at this, HUDs in my emails.
It's awesome.
Addresses, what day they close, the title company, the closing attorney, more HUDs, proof of funds from an actual bank account, right? All of that stuff, all in one email. If you are not leveraging other people, you are missing out in this game. When I first got into this business, I leveraged Jamil to the nines all day long. Okay, so make sure you are leveraging other people. Don't let that stop you from taking action because you're like, I don't have the thing. I don't have the resources. I don't have the access. Go find and squat up with somebody. Now, Cody, when you're talking about social media, was there ever a point where you were afraid to post things on social media? You were ashamed or you used some fictitious name or any of that crap?
No.
Where do you think that comes from with people?
I mean, for me, it was just real simple. I loved what real estate has done for me and my family. I believed in it. I knew what it was I knew the potential for other, pot smoking, wannabe bookkeepers like myself, all of a sudden became a real estate multimillionaire at 28. I made my first million. By age 30, I was a multimillionaire. You're not doing that in bookkeeping. So, or history professor, which was my other backup plan, or marine biologist, which is my third backup plan.
Yeah.
And so when you believe in something that much, it's okay to be loud. And I think,
Hell yeah.
I got my first year was the worst. People that I used to party with would hate and talk shit and be like, hey, how come you're not coming around? What are you big time in? Oh, you're going to be a real estate millionaire. Can I borrow your jet? Like they would just talk smack. And it actually got pretty toxic. They would attack my wife, which was my girlfriend at the time. And so it was like a weird dynamic of like me elevating my enthusiasm, me being intentional, talking a bigger game about the future and what I want with my life, and other people like feeling their own insecurities and their own shortcomings and them lashing out. But you got to stay the course. And I think if you can make it past that first few months of like the change, the shift, you can do it. And so once I made it past that, I was like, you know what? It's my obligation, because I don't believe success is a duty. I don't think success is a destination. I think it's an obligation of a lifetime of activity of like how you act and how you show up every single day. And so when you take it on as like a lifetime, instead of like success is a destination, it's my life. This is how I act now. You operate different, and
you find other people to surround yourself with.
Here's what's funny about Cody is I can guarantee you, without even knowing the story, I can guarantee you a lot of the people that gave him grief or talk shit behind his back or even to his face, was negative towards his wife or whatever. I'm sure that there's at least one of those people that have asked Cody for a job along the way.
Not one of them, all of them. And not just a job. The worst part was one of my best friends I used to live with back in California when I was in the Navy. He was one of the loudest to make fun of me. And they would be drinking at night, and I had a blog at the time, and they would leave like messed up blog comments. And this is way back in the day.
Gosh.
And I knew it was them, and it hurt because I knew it was them because of the things they knew. And they were saying, fast forward years, right now, I'm doing it. I'm successful. I'm making a lot of money. He hits a rough patch. Yeah. And I get a phone call, and he's like crying on the phone. And he's like, Cody, I'm sorry that I did that to you. I should never have done that. And the phone call was all to borrow money. Right. And I remember sitting there in that moment thinking like, this is so weird how it comes full circle. And I gave him the money. And I said, on one condition, you have to read the book, Think and Grow Rich. Right. If you don't read the whole book, then you don't get the money. He needed like $5,000, or he was going to lose his place, and he just had a baby and all this stuff. And so I gave him the book. He read it, or said he read it, and then I gave him the money. And he said, I swear I'm going to pay you back. I swear I'm going to pay you back. Yeah. He never paid me back. No.
Then he didn't read the book.
I don't know if he read the book or not, but I did my part.
You did.
You know what I mean? I felt good about the full circle, like feeling like it was all worth it. All that hating and struggle and all that stuff, for me to be able to break off somebody in need, give them a book, and then say, hey, it's up to you. What you do with this now, it's totally up to you. And unfortunately, he's still living paycheck to paycheck, struggling. It didn't click. So,
well, and I honestly think we have different brains. I really do. I really think this. I mean, I think that there is something inside that you read a certain book. I've given Rich Dad Poor Dad to countless people, countless. Nobody reads it. No, nobody reads it. And then the people that ask for it, I mean, if they're not asking for it, you just give it to them, or they're asking a little bit, read Rich Dad Poor Dad, don't read it.
They don't do it.
They don't do it. They can't get past the first chapter.
Did you read it, Jamil?
And it's like, whatever.
Yeah. Did you read it?
Great book.
Think and Grow Rich? Yeah, I have like one of the original.
No, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Oh yeah, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I read it.
Great book.
You read it?
No, my dad gave it to me when I was in the Navy, and I threw it in my on a ship. You have like on your rack, you actually lift up your rack, and that's where all your stuff is. Yeah. I threw it in there for like 3 months, and it was right when it came out. And then I was bored at sea doing 5-knot loops out in the Persian Gulf.
Sure.
And I was like, oh, what is this book? I read it in one sitting, cover to cover, and it changed my life.
It breaks your brain.
Every single person should read that book. It's a staple.
Yeah.
By far. Yeah.
Yeah. And listen, you give that to somebody and they read it. There's only one of two things. They either don't get it at all, or they're just like, this is my life now. I'm telling you, it's incredible. 100%. And I think that's just a special thing. I mean,
I want to write a book like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking like,
oh
because
I
want to write my version of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Maybe one day.
Yeah.
But that's magic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is. It's absolutely.
Because I own the domain selfmademillionaire.com.
Nice.
Ooh.
You think that could be a book, Self-Made Millionaire?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I think there's something there. And I think I can create it into a series of like Self-Made Millionaire Real Estate, Self-Made Millionaire Ecom, Self-Made Millionaire Crypto.
Yeah.
I think I can actually build a brand around it.
Is it going to be storytelling?
I think, yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah.
It's got to be. And each expert in that niche has to be a G.
Yeah. That's it.
Here's somebody who doesn't feel like they are an expert.
Sorry,
she says, since I'm basically new and I've not done a deal yet, how can I brag about wholesaling on social media with confidence? Now, I think the big thing that you want to replace there is the word brag with talk.
Yes.
Bragging. Okay. So I call it the Clint Eastwood method. The greatest movie that Clint Eastwood ever did was The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Okay. And what you want to do about social media and what I do on social media is, talk about the good, the things you're excited about, but talk about the bad and the ugly. And what are the bad and the ugly? Talk about the things like, hey, I'm attempting my first cold call. Hey, I'm attempting to follow up with my first seller. Hey, I'm going on my first appointment. You don't need to brag about anything. Just document the process of what you're going through. Treat it like a journal. Then that way you don't have to have the imposter syndrome. You don't have to have any of that kind of stuff. Be authentic. Cody, do you have any advice on this specific topic?
I mean, I think you nailed it. It's just, when wholesaling is an interesting concept, right? Because it's not really investing. It's the kind of the beginning part of learning to be an investor. Yeah. And I think I don't think people quite understand it. So instead of bragging about wholesaling, just go get out of the house, get away from the computer, and go out to some deals. Like go find, like if a wholesaler, like what I used to do to build my buyers list and to get people excited about what I'm excited about is I would join every wholesaler's list in town. And then I would go out to their properties that they're trying to sell. And I would, back then it was a regular camera, like a flip camera. Now it's a cell phone. And I would say, hey guys, standing out here in front of 555 Main Street. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And I'd pitch the deal to the camera. And I would, hey, I'm looking at this house. Here's what I like about it. Here's what I don't like about it. I'm doing real estate. I love this business. If you're interested in it, hit me up. Let's talk real estate. Let's see if there's a deal. If you want one of my deals, I get these off-market bangers that put big checks in your pocket. If you want to partner with me on some deals, we can work something out. Let's just talk real estate. And I would do that so consistently over such a long period of time. I had like 200, 300 videos, and I would make a YouTube channel. And I called it Arizona Property Superstore YouTube channel. And that's how I just got used to talking about real estate.
Love it.
And that's it.
Love it.
And then people would see my videos.
This is off market right behind me. This is off market. Hey, all you realtors looking for deals, hit me up. I've got these deals right here. Talk to me.
And before you knew it, it became, everybody started to know me as the real estate guy.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just be consistent.
And then, so are you saying I can go to, maybe I get my first wholesale deal, I wholesale it to my cash buyer. I can go to his property after he's bought it from me and I can talk about that deal and get on their property.
Sure. You could do other wholesalers deals. You could do, you could be driving for dollars and see a rehabber and get out of your car and go talk to the rehabber and see what's up with it. Hey, I'm out here at this house. This rehabber's renovating it. The reason I like deals like this in this area is because of boom, boom, boom. And next thing you know, you got some content and you can put it out there.
So you don't even have to be involved in the deal specifically.
I mean, where there's no rule book.
No.
This is up to you, right? You just get to make the rules. Just
you can literally turn the camera on and underwrite other wholesalers' deals that are being emailed to you the entire day, and just create deal or no deal, deal or no deal, deal or no deal, and just talk about.
Imagine if that's all they did.
Just hey, if you're interested, if you're seeing this and interested in it, call me. Here's my number, right? Text me. do something right.
That's it.
I love that idea.
That's it. If I was
love
new,
that.
you would learn how to comp.
Mhm.
I remember when Bryant first came to me, my business partner, and it took him like an hour and a half to comp a property. And he said, dude, how do you do it so fast? I'm like, dude, I've done thousands of comps. Now he's faster than I am. He could do it within 2-3 minutes and be deadly accurate to the point where we can actually buy it as a rehab. Can you imagine if you were new and all you were doing is underwriting other people's deals? Within 90 days, you'd be so good that it wouldn't be, you're not faking it anymore. You're actually real estate investing.
I think we need to have a Compers Olympics. Cody, yourself, myself, guys like Iman, others who know that they've got some comping prowess. Let's put our speed tests on and show people how it's done. I love that idea.
Well, get Bryant because he's better than me. I'm a dinosaur now, dude. I could do it, but awesome. he underwrites every one of our deals, and it's pretty cool to see somebody go from an hour and a half down to a minute and a half.
Yeah,
so good.
Yep.
Couple of really good questions here. LA Law. How do I know when to use the 70 cent or the 84 cent on a comp? Jamil? Well,
again, it's going to really depend on the market you're talking about and what condition the property is in, right? So the whole 70 or 84% is minus rehab, minus desired wholesale fee. And again, I don't necessarily like that equation because desired wholesale fee is too subjective of a number, right? And what we have happening out there is people desire to make $50,000 on their first deal, and then their desire is what kills them for being able to actually get the deal done, right? So LA Law, what I like to look at is this property located in a high appreciation, high demand market, or is it in a low appreciation, low demand market? Is it more of a buy and hold market? If I can understand which of the markets it's in, the next thing I want to find out is what condition is it in? Is it in cosmetic rehab condition, or does it need a full gut rehab? And once I know those two pieces of information, then I can literally apply a percent multiple, and I can comp the house and give you a buy price on a property within 30 seconds. So I think we need a little bit more information than 0.7 or 0.84. We need to know what market you're talking about, what condition we're talking, and then I can give you a multiple that you could take home and apply over and over and over again, and you'd always be right on.
And price point.
Correct.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, you can't go 70% of $100,000 house, that needs $60,000 worth of work.
Right.
So, you watch Jamil's comping, straight up comping every Sunday. He does it every Sunday.
That's great.
Just
I love that
name.
Just
break it down.
Straight out comping.
And
so fun.
Perfect.
Here's
perfect.
a great question for Mr. Cody Sperber. Chris Bibe says, just starting out, who actually pays me after I make the deal?
Mm-hmm. A wholesale deal. Yeah.
You're asking, how do you get paid?
Yeah. Like where does he get a check from?
Yeah. Title company.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I've done a few wholesale deals where I was only making like $4 or $5 grand. And so they would just pay me. Yeah. They would just write a check. Mm-hmm. But it depends on, the title company. That's the answer.
Most of the time, title company and the closing attorney, depending on what state you're in. But the real answer is the cash buyer.
Right.
They're not the ones cutting you the check typically, but they're coming in with the funds. So it's got to be a good deal.
Yeah. A lot of times I try to, coach my people. Like if we're only making a very small wholesale fee and we're assigning, just get them to give the closing agent the check and get it pre-released to us immediately. So we're now officially kind of out of the deal and we move on. But if you're making a bunch of money, you're gonna have to wait for the deal to close. And depending on if you're assigning or double closing will depend on how much you end up pocketing.
Guys, we are well over 500 live viewers today. So thank you so much.
That's good.
On a Monday evening. Jennifer Harris says, I have a seller open to subject to. However, the house needs $40,000 of work. Should I push for the wholesale or sub 2? So Jennifer Harris, the question regarding wholesale or sub 2 really has nothing to do with the renovation. But I can tell you, I've bought deals from Cody Sperber that were subject to that. I had an $80,000 renovation budget on that deal I bought from you guys. So the renovation budget really has more to do with what's my cash on cash return with the sub 2. So Jennifer, what I would do talk about where that deal is in the comments. Find one of my sub 2 students and they will break down exactly how to analyze whether that's a deal that you should keep as sub 2 or not. And I'm buying sub 2 deals every single week. We buy a sub 2 deal for our portfolio. I'm not assigning them. I'm keeping them all. So wherever that is, link in with one of my students. I'll pay you an assignment fee and I'll pay my student an assignment fee. Bring me the deal and we'll educate you on it. By the way, Sunday Service, my podcast on Sunday nights, is all about creative finance. So if you want to find out more about sub 2, seller finance, novations, wraps, lease options, all the fun things, go to Sunday Service on Sundays on my YouTube channel.
Awesome.
I like this subject, and I'd like to actually bring Cody into the conversation because Pace and I are in the middle of putting together a deal with respect to NFTs and smart contracts. And I wanted to get your understanding, Cody, of where you think things are going, because right now there's a huge inefficiency in how real estate is transacted because title companies and closing attorneys, and right now I'm in the middle of a transaction here in Los Angeles that is absolutely making me want to kill myself because of how hard it is to deal with all the parties involved. So I can see that there is an opportunity for us to make transactions easier, cheaper, and more secure, right? A friend of mine used the term digitizing morality. And I love that. I love that, right? Because you say, for instance, you have a deed, which is now an NFT. You create an NFT out of a deed. We don't get title fraud anymore. We can reduce the amount of title insurance we have to spend. We may not even need mobile notaries or title companies conveying property. Cody, where do you see crypto, smart contracts, and NFTs taking real estate in the future? Because I know you're big in this. And then also there may be a conversation where Pace and I work with you on something about this as well.
Cool. Yeah, it's a great question because NFTs are being pushed and pumped so heavy right now on social, and you see some big influencers really putting them out there. I'm not an expert in NFTs, but I do have some friends that are some of the best in the world at this stuff. And I think right now there's like this rush in everybody, this FOMO rush that's happening. And people are trying to figure out like where they can make money and where can they fit into this and how will it affect real estate. And, you know, I like the concept of an NFT from the standpoint of it's a token that tracks over time. So for instance, if I'm Ticketmaster and I sell you a ticket and you scalp the ticket to Bob, and then Bob scalps the ticket to somebody else. As the issuer, the original issuer, I only make money now one time, but if it's digitized as an NFT, that ticket, every time it transfers to a new person, I can make, let's say 10% or 20%.
Sure.
So I like the functionality of it. Right now, I think it's, outside of real estate, it's really stupid what people are doing. It's like, buy this cartoon ape and you can get into parties and stuff. It's like, okay, I get it. People are making money from it. But the smartest guy I know is a guy named Walter O'Brien. He's the fourth smartest person ever to take a test.
What?
According to him.
Oh.
I don't know if this is real.
But I'm the third then.
Yeah. But here's how I know the TV show The Scorpion is actually made after him.
What?
Yeah, he's a G. He behind the scenes, like all his clients are like family offices, Fortune 100 companies. Yep. He's a think tank for the government. Like he does gangster stuff. So anyway, I'm talking to Walter and I'm like, I feel this FOMO. Like I got to get into like this NFT space and all this. And I really think that it's going to revolutionize the way we transfer real estate. So you're onto something, Jamil. But he goes, Cody, we're one version too early. Yeah. And I go, what? He goes, if you're in and out between now and the end of 2022 with flipping NFTs and you're buying digital real estate, like you're going to do okay. But there are supercomputers in China right now that are working around the clock to break the blockchain. Sure. And as soon as that happens, everything's just going to go to nosedive. And it's really blockchain 2.0 that you want to pay attention to. So you want to learn everything now, gain the skills and capabilities and understand the world, but don't go all in on it now because there's a possibility you will wake up here in the next year and everything just fell off a cliff.
Well, I think everybody has that. Oh, I wish I would have bought crypto, when it was $1,000 or $100 or whatever else. And now it's this big, $60,000 thing. And you see all these millionaires and everything, and they just got rich overnight.
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
There's FOMO. It's hard not to want to jump in on it. And look, if you're throwing
what FOMO is.
Fear of missing out.
Okay.
And if you're like if you look at it like a pie and you're like, hey, I'm willing to risk like the swing for the fences. I'm willing to risk 10 or 20% of my world, my financial world on this thing. I think it's okay.
Right.
And I own lots of crypto.
Sure.
I'm praying that he's wrong and that it doesn't all go to zero, but it makes a lot of sense to me. Like, cause who doesn't want that? Not allowing crypto in their world.
Right.
For a reason.
Right.
Because they're gunning to take it down. So I think the next round of it is going to actually be where we'll start seeing big businesses, what is it? First American. They're working on it behind the scenes. They're working on it. It'll come from one of them before it'll come from some random person, because they have all the data. Yeah. And without that, you can't put everything on the blockchain without the data. So they're working on it. They see where it's going. And I think
and they'll just buy up whoever's developing stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they're buying everything. There you go.
So many great questions in here,
guys, and then sell it to Fidelity. There you go.
Cody, is First American still able to provide 90-day late lists, and who do we contact?
Do I look like I work for First American?
You must have made a video on your YouTube.
I probably did. I probably did. I need my name tag. I don't know.
Let me answer this question, because I have a similar question right here. Isaiah says, Pace, can you give me your take on finding leads on Driving for Dollars versus title companies? I've called title companies, but they've told me they don't have any lists. Any feedback would be nice. So I did a YouTube video about this a year and a half ago, where I brought on Eileen Brown, a title agent here in Arizona that all of us know. She's been doing title and escrow for 46 years.
Yep.
46 years. There's nobody on the screen that old, I don't think. Jamil, how old are you? 42?
42.
42. Okay, so Eileen Brown and I did a live where I showed that the majority of title companies have access to data, and they will give that access to data to real estate investors because they want those real estate investors to bring files to them, right? Bring closings to them. So Eileen Brown and I did a video where she said, look, not all title companies are going to do this. The sophisticated ones obviously understand that the best marketing to bring investors to the table are the marketing departments that understand investors want lists and access to data. And so we do it. So if you've called, and I'm going to tell you guys a real quick story. Isaiah, I assume you have actually you've called a lot of title companies, you've followed up, and you've been persistent because you know and you understand that that's how you actually get things in life. Let me tell you guys a funny story. 40 seconds. I get a student, reaches out to me, goes, hey, I need some help. I want to do a deal with somebody on your team. I go, no problem. Here's her contact information. Reach out to her on Monday after the Thanksgiving holiday. You guys can connect. So what does he do? Well, he texts her, right? During Thanksgiving weekend. No big deal. No harm done. She can reply whenever she wants. But then yesterday, which is Sunday, he sends me a DM and he says, I have been reaching out to Ashley so many times on your team and I cannot get a reply. What should I do now? And I'm like, what the hell? Okay. So I reach out to Ashley and I go, Ashley, man, this guy really needs you. Can you please reach out to him first thing Monday morning? And she's like, Pace, I literally have one text message from him. And it was on Thanksgiving evening at 10:30 at night.
Wow.
So here's the moral of the story, guys. Don't ever tell me you've done something unless you've done it 100 times. How many times did Walt Disney get denied for a loan before he built Disneyland? Don't tell me some horse shit that you have tried something 6 times. Unless you've tried, I tell people also it's the same thing with marketing. If you don't try something for 91 days, you have not been consistent one single day. On the 91st day is the first day you can say, I've been consistent. Don't tell me you've been consistent after 3 days. Don't tell me you've been consistent after 30 days. Tell me on day 91 that you've been consistent for 1 day. So
all the time, Pace. I made 1 million calls. I don't have a single deal. How many calls? Are you using a dialer? Let me see your report. No, I'm just hand dialing. You made 1 million hand dialed calls. Well, I've made like 15 or 20 or, it's like you have to do this a lot. You got to talk to a lot of people. You got to build the momentum, especially that first 90 days. Totally agree, Pace.
It's the same thing with any business, guys. I don't care if I'm an electrician, a plumber, I'm an insurance agent. I don't care what I am. If I want to go out and make sales, you don't make a phone call and you get a deal done, and people don't pick up the phone every single time. Sometimes when you're like, for example, I think I see this a lot with people that are trying to get payoffs for foreclosure deals. Let's say a house is in foreclosure. They get the house under contract. They go open escrow with the title company. And now they got to get the payoff, and the mortgage company or the trustee is not replying to anybody. They make one phone call and their thing is, Pace, I haven't been able to get a hold of the trustee. How many times did you call? Well, I called one time. I haven't heard back. What? What did you just say? You called one time? Call 100 times.
That's right.
Well, and by the way, don't try and fix and flip, because if you ever have to deal with a contractor, they have to call more than one time, you will fail.
Yeah. We call that marketing stamina.
Boom. I love that marketing stamina.
Most people don't have it. They don't have marketing stamina. And I think that's always been my secret sauce. It is I lose, I spend a lot, I lose a lot, but on the averages, over a long period of time, I come up significantly.
Yes.
And that's because you cannot convince me that planes don't fly.
Right.
Because I know marketing works. It's an investment. I know if you do anything consistently enough, we're seeing you do it right now on your YouTube channel. If you everybody thinks they're going to go start a YouTube channel and within 3 months, they're going to get famous. Like, it doesn't work like that. It takes years of 3 videos a week for years. And then all of a sudden the hockey stick happens.
What about your Instagram?
That's what I'm saying. Years of just consistency, and that marketing stamina, man, it's tough. Especially when you have self-limiting beliefs and you have other people trying to steer your ship and give you all their opinions, and the haters and the doubters. But you just got to put the blinders on and say, you know what, I'm gonna dominate this.
One thing I just started telling people is, I said, if you haven't dialed 3 times, you haven't dialed once. So I tell people the new triple dial is the new single dial. So when I'm calling sellers for my students and the seller doesn't pick up on the first call, not only do I call a second time, I call a third time. I don't leave a voice message. I immediately call again. And what is so funny is I get more people answering on the third time than I do on the first time.
Yep.
That's an old phone room trick.
Mm-hmm.
Cody, what kind of tactics or tips can you give to the newbie investor right now that is having an issue with, getting that stamina? Because it's one thing I can say, you've been at this longer than all of us at motivating, inspiring, and getting people to take action in their businesses and create change. I've seen you develop some of the brightest in the business. So you definitely have techniques that you're installing in people's minds that get them into that headspace. For 3 up-and-comers like us, and for the rest of us that are watching, what techniques and tactics can you help us with to get people to download the consistency program?
I think there's 3 thoughts all converging in one thing right there, because when it comes to marketing, we're talking about generating energy and traffic, right? The conversion part is the after the traffic is, and I like how you guys kind of separate this into 3 pieces.
Yep.
The traffic for me is, you're either going to do it through pure brute force or you're going to pay for speed. Right. And so if you have I'm assuming you're talking about a newbie with very limited resources that doesn't, they don't know what they're doing. So for me, it's like, I'm the kind of personality that, and maybe you guys can relate to this. Whatever I'm into, I obsess over, to the point where it's almost weird for other people around me, because they're like, dude, you're a freaking maniac. Right. But on the other side of that is, I also can neglect everything else. So my whole life falls apart over here, all the relationships, all the everything, but I obsess over this thing. And for me, I obsess over marketing. And so if I'm leaning in on, I have limited resources, I'm going to lean in on building I'm going to do exactly what I told Hunter to do. I'm going to build a buyer's list. I'm going to find every wholesaler in town, and I'm going to just try my hardest to play matchmaker as fast as I can to get some wins, right? It's just a co-wholesaling, simple strategy. I think you guys call it astro flipping. Is that astro flipping? I don't know.
A portion of what we do is connecting the dots through that. Yeah.
Okay. So for me, that's the fastest path for somebody with limited resources is don't do the whole transaction, do half the transaction, just dispo as fast as you can. You'll get good at comping. You'll get good at building a buyer's list. You'll get good at pitching deals, and you'll start to learn the language of real estate. And my thing is, if you think 3 hours a day is going to get you to the promised land, like I didn't eat, I didn't sleep, I didn't party, I didn't talk to anybody. If you were in my way, I ran you over. I avoided you like the plague. Like I just obsessed over getting stuff done. Mm-hmm. And I think people don't raise their enthusiasm enough, right? Like they make excuses a lot, and or they do it for this really short burst until somebody bursts their bubble, and then they change directions or play small all of a sudden. And it's like, dude, don't do that. Real estate's going to make you a freaking multimillionaire. It's going to change generational trajectory of your family. You got to stay the course. And I'm going back to what I was saying in the beginning is success is your obligation. If you're not rolling like that, you shouldn't be in this business. Go work for somebody else. Go get a job, because this shit is tough. It's war. You suit up every day, you put on your battle armor, and you go to freaking war. There's a war for your focus right now. There's a war for your money right now. There's a war for your vote. There's a war happening on every front. And the only way you get out of it is to build a financial wall around you and your family. You will be trapped, indebted to the government for the rest of your life, or a burden on your family if you don't. So when you roll like that, kind of your shoulders are back and you're like, it's war. I got to get up early. I got to go hard. I got to stay late. People bitch out all the time. And it's like, look, real estate ain't for you. Mm-hmm. It's okay. Mm-hmm. It's okay. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Because the rest of us that stay the course for long enough and have that stamina and that consistency, we're all getting rich.
That's it.
And it's a beautiful feeling. And we need people to work for us. So I'm okay if you want to be a worker for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Right? I'll hire you.
Yeah.
But if you don't roll like that and you want to do it with me, let's go. Because there's a lot of room at this table.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of money to be made in this game. And there could be 100 more Jamils in Arizona, and there's still enough deal flow to go around for every single one of us.
Unlimited.
1000%. That's a really great point. Two things that I really loved is the people that are obsessed, right? When you get in behind these closed doors in these high level rooms, is there anybody in these rooms that are not obsessed with something?
No, we're all a bunch of weirdos, bro.
And we're not
people in our our families, our regular lives, all that kind of stuff think we're crazy. Right? Everybody on the screen right now has been called crazy by a family friend or somebody. You're crazy. You're relentless. You're this, you're that, whatever. That's number one. Number two, that is so correct. Brent, how many vacant properties are in America right now?
Over 12 million based on the 2020 census over a year.
12 million vacant properties have been vacant for over a year.
That's not multifamily. That's not even including townhouses, condos, vacant land, any of it. It is unlimited. We could all do 1,000 deals and not even put a dent into that. Do you understand? This is a conveyor belt. It is a conveyor belt of opportunity. And you were absolutely right when you said, what you're going to leave it up to your government or your family to take care of you when you're older? That's the truth. I don't think anybody really realizes this because, it's, we're younger, we're feeling good, we feel vibrant, we can move around, we're still in these, income producing times of our lives. What happens when you're not? You know what I mean? Like you either build wealth or the government or your family takes care of you.
A fun exercise to do is to just get out a sheet of paper and write down the words 1.8 million at the top, which is what Forbes says you need to comfortably retire. I think it's a lot more than that, but let's just start at 1.8 because most people, when they get to retirement age, have less than $60,000. Americans save less than $1,000 a year, and then they get a flat tire and they're fucked. And super savers save a little over $95,000 a year.
Yep.
So if you think about it, we're going to hit retirement age. They say you need 1.8. I think it's a lot more than that. And then you're going to write down below that where you're currently at. And the reality is there's going to be a big ass gap between even 1.8 and where you're currently at. So how do we bridge the gap? Right? It's not going to be Social Security, which if you look at Social Security, they say it's going to run dry by 2035. I think we'll prop it up and it might last a little longer, but whatever it is, Social Security on average pays less than $1,400 a month, which if you go times 12, it's like 16,000 a year or something like that. The federal poverty line for a family of two people is 19,000. So in your golden years, you will be living below the poverty line off of Social Security. You can't do it. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to be living in my golden years working at the fucking Golden Arches.
Right.
I just don't want to be greeting at Walmart. I don't have any problem with that. I think it's respectable. You do what you got to do, but I don't want to be trapped in that race. Every person here is because they see the path of real estate and they're like, well, I can make big money in real estate very short amount of time. Well, then why are you quitting? Why are you changing directions? Why are you listening to anybody else? Why are you worried about fucking NFTs right now? Stay focused on something that is future-proof. Nobody's going to hack real estate. They're going to hack the blockchain, but they're not going to hack real estate. People will always need a place to live. It is future-proof. So get there emotionally, and you won't have a hard time when somebody's like, you're not rich. What do you think you're doing? You're not the right skin color. Women don't dominate in real estate. Whatever the bullshit is, you're going to look at them and be like, what are you talking about? Get out of here. Get away from me. Because you know the future for you is to dominate in real estate. So spend the money on marketing, work the extra hours, pound the pavement. The reason Bryant, I'm so grateful for my business partner, Bryant, because he is the best networker in the game. He's so lovable, but he's a little bulldog. He just shows up nonstop. If you're running, his fat ass is running with you. If you're into like soup and hot tubs, he's souping and hot tubbing with you. Whatever you're into.
In fact, he's hot tubbing in the soup.
He's hot tubbing in the soup because
after running,
he cares about this relationship. And he's willing to invest into it. And guess what? He's so consistent. He's not spending money on this, but he's so consistent that when you think about doing a wholesale deal as a development company, if you're thinking about selling a deal, you're going to call us first because of that relationship. So don't tell me, I don't have money, so I'm not going to be successful in this business. No, you don't. It's never a money problem.
Right.
It's a creativity problem and a hustle problem. That's it.
Love that.
I'm getting off my soapbox. Sorry, guys. I'm taking over the wholesale hotline.
This is why you're here, bro.
Energy.
You got everybody fired up, bro. Here's something that's interesting. So if we've got 12 million vacant properties that have been vacant for over a year, 12 million of them, and every month there's 146,000 wholesale transactions happening nationwide, 146,000 wholesale transactions happening every month. Okay.
You're not even getting close.
And we could double and triple what is going on in wholesale, double and triple what's going on in wholesale. And it wouldn't impact anything.
How many did you say? What?
12 million.
No. How many wholesale transactions?
146,000.
So it's 1 point.
So what would you say the average wholesale fee is nationwide? 10K?
$10,000. Yep.
I mean, I don't even know. My calculator broke. It just says 1.46 E to the 9.
E to the 9.
E to the 9, whatever that is.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Come get yours.
Yeah.
Put your hand in that pot and get your piece.
It's unlimited. It's just sticking with it. It's just pushing through. It's getting through those uncomfortable times. It's learning new skills. It's going out and talking to new people, understanding people's emotions, understanding their communication style, understanding their ability to stiff arm you and put a bubble around themselves and your ability to melt that and work with them. Go ahead. Paige.
It's $1.46 billion is being paid out in assignment fees per month.
Per month.
Wow.
Per month.
That's ridiculous.
Per month. And guys, that's just wholesale. That's just money. That's just the ATM machine. That's not the wealth building. That's not taking that money and putting it into investment properties.
Look at your screen right now. He's got a shirt with his stuff on it. Pace wears a hat with his stuff on it. I'm rocking Clever gear.
He's got a blue jean.
Yeah.
Yep.
When I first got in this
Astro.
business, I didn't have a lot of money. So I got a white shirt, a black marker. I wrote, I sell houses to investors. And I went and parked my ass down at the foreclosure auction. And I hung out like this and waited for somebody to come talk to me. It's a marker and a shirt.
That's it.
Like, do something. And excuse making is not what you should be doing.
Right. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Always selling.
Quality conversations with distressed property owners. It is impossible for you to fail if you have enough quality conversations with distressed property owners or the people representing those people, getting in between, being the, working for the cash buyers that are looking for opportunities, being loud. People will actually go, people probably buy, I don't even know. There's no doubt in my mind. People buy properties from Jamil and from Keegley because they know somebody's going to talk to them at Keegley and Jamil. They're responsive. They are going. They answer.
Keegley's aggressive, man. They text you 7
you.
million times.
That's it.
They're never.
You can't be
stopping.
quiet.
Yeah,
you can't be quiet in this
That's
business.
good.
I'm just telling you. And it's not rocket science. Find an ugly house. Get the contact information for the owner or market to them, and have a conversation with them. That's it. That's the whole business. Lead generation, conversion, and exit strategy. What do you want to do? There's only 3 exit strategies. You're going to sign that deal, you're going to hold that deal, or you're going to flip that deal. It's that simple. Ugly houses, talk to the property owner, you win, and do it over and over and over and over. Take a portion of that money and buy these properties, buy some assets, and you win. Boom.
Awesome.
There you go.
You win, baby.
You win.
So what is it that you think keeps people from actually taking action? You know, Cody, you've been in this game a long time as an educator. You've probably educated 3 times as many people as Jamil, Brent, and I combined over the last, 15, 16, 18 years. What do you feel like are a handful of things that keep people from taking action? And maybe today they're paying for a course and 6 months later they're paying for another course and they still haven't done a deal. What is the thing that's keeping them from taking action?
I think it's the thing that you're doing really well right now. And I feel like people walk around their whole lives holding their umbilical cords in their hands, looking for something to plug it into. We all have great strategies or systems or software or data. It's everywhere. But what they're missing is the community. They're missing the accountability and that love, that peer-to-peer network, the mentorship network, like just being part of something bigger than yourself. And when you're there, it's okay to be scared and sad and uncomfortable and hesitating and not know what to do, because you can't stay there that long when everybody around you is elevating and trying. Because when you're there, when you're in that environment, you're kind of like, well, shit, I can't stay here because now I'm seeing, Brent light up and Pace light up. Everybody's lighting up. I need to light up a little bit. So then it's a lot easier to get those questions answered so they can keep moving forward.
I agree with that entirely. It's community, 100% community. It's what we spend all of our time and energy on. Everything we spend on community, right? It's the campfire effect. It's like, you go to YouTube, what people do is they'll go to YouTube thinking they're learning something. And for me, if you're cold, you're freezing cold, you don't look at a picture of a campfire. Right. What you do is you get next to an actual campfire, people that are actually doing the business, people that are actually trying. You get in the room with the energy and you feel the warmth. And what's great about a community is not only is there a campfire there's warmth, people are talking around that campfire. There's also people who put their arm around you at that campfire and say, it's okay that you failed. Let's go forward one more step. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. And it's so much more fun when you're doing it with homies. It's so much more fun when you're doing it with your friends. And it's okay to screw up, right? Like when we were all in high school and college and when you were in the Navy, Cody, it's way more fun when you have people to do it with.
Maybe junior high. What are you saying?
Junior high.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's Wholesale Hotline. It's Sunday service. It's Brent. It's Jamil. It's the mentorships where people, one of my students told me today, they go, I feel like sub 2 is like church. Because even if I fall away for whatever reason, I go through a personal thing, I know that when I show up that you guys are still here. In fact, not only that you guys are waiting for me to return, we have people reaching out to you saying, hey, we haven't seen you in 30 days. What's going on? What do you need help with? That is something that's critical. So guys, if you need community, you're in the right place. Just spend the time building relationships in the side comments, get off the comments and call each other. Go drive for dollars together. Go link up at Starbucks. Go on appointments together. Critique each other. One of my most valuable relationships ever was a guy named Jason Ellingson. Jamil knows him really, really well.
Great
He's a
guy.
Homevestor franchise owner here local in Phoenix. And he would let me go on his appointments and just let me sit there like a fly on the wall and watch him work. If I had the money, I would have paid him $1 million. It was so invaluable to be able to do that. So you're in the right place, guys. And don't feel like you have to know everything in order to take action. You just need to know one person that cares about you. And those people are in the side comments waiting for you to squat up right now.
And they are. It's been incredible. That's why we go 93 weeks in a row, and we love doing this on Monday. It's if you're on an island by yourself, it's really tough. I mean, it is. You're fighting yourself, and you're gonna see a lot of different shiny things coming at you when you're with a group that is pushing and achieving and doing things. You naturally are going to do that. You get onto a better team, you're going to be a better player. That's just a fact. So, I mean, it's not, that's why when Pace and Jamil, you came up with this whole idea. You guys are traveling the whole country and you're like, we need to be louder. So like, let's do this thing. And we put together this hotline, and that's the whole point of it, is to squat up, is to be around amazing people, is to have that mastermind effect.
You know, what's interesting is when we are traveling and talking to people, we hear how many people have connected with each other just on an online forum like this, created a business partnership, did a deal, made money. You know, their whole lives are changed. We have people coming up to us in tears, you know, and you know, of course, we're behind the screens. And so for us, sometimes we don't get the opportunity to connect with that person until we're in their city. And we get that opportunity, and we get to hear how these things grow and how that reach is maintained. Guys, you've got to do this. You've got to continue to show up. You got to continue to show up, and that is the key. And here's the beautiful thing, right? You see guys like Pace, myself, Brent, Cody shows up. Cody, are you getting any money for this? No. Cody shows up to donate time, to donate his extensive knowledge in this business, in this industry, to share, to grow, to build more community. And so that's another thing to remember, is that when you do get success, it's really important that you turn around and you help everybody behind you. It is not about you. It is about all the people that come behind you.
Perfect. Let's close it out. Any last thoughts, Pace?
Cody Sperber, you're a legend. You've opened up so many doors for not only me, but everybody on the screen. You've paved the way and continue to pave the way, bro. This is the stuff I watch you do. You've leveraged real estate to open up and build 50 other successful businesses, bro. It's an inspiration just to watch. You guys just get started, right? Link in, build a relationship with somebody in the side comments. There's a reason why we do this show live, right? It's a lot easier for us to just be a couple of dudes hanging out in a podcast studio, recording something and posting it. It's a lot more work to do something live. It's a lot more work. And we're doing that work for you guys because we care and because this didn't exist for us. No live wholesale hotline existed when we first started, right? So we're taking the torch that Cody Sperber lit up years and years ago, and we're taking it a little bit further. Cody, thank you for being the inspiration. Thank you for being the guy that cut the freaking jungle down with a machete. We're still following your path that you're like 10 years ahead of us on. And I appreciate you coming on the show today.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. And I'm going to give you some love back because all you guys, it's refreshing to see what you guys are doing. Mm-hmm. The energy is fantastic. It's great to know that this community is going to grow and thrive way more than it started just because of what you guys are doing. And for me, you know, there's a lot of people out there that are being turned on to real estate because of you guys using all this amazing social and technology and just staying so consistent.
Yeah.
Every single seed that you're planting in all these people's minds is going to grow someday. They're gaining financial intelligence. They're starting to wake up and realize that we're all trapped in this horrible matrix. And it is our responsibility, especially if you live in the United States.
Pull them out.
Okay. Like there's people out there that really have it hard. And if you said, you know what, Cody, I'm growing up in Vietnam and we don't have laws that support getting rich, and I make less than $2,000 in a year. And so I'd say, man, you're fucked. Sucks. You know, like you really got it. You got a bad card dealt to you. But if you're here in the US and you're wasting time making excuses and playing small and bitching out and constantly, with this victim mindset and victim mentality and always with your hand out saying, give me with this entitled bullshit energy, like you're missing the whole shift that's happening in America right now. We are financially screwed. What they're doing to our money supply is destroying our kids' future and their kids' future. There's a reason crypto is around. There's a reason that inflation is starting to pick up. And the only way, I said it earlier, the only way out is to unplug from the matrix and build a financial wall around yourself and your family. If you're not empowered, because trust me, my friends are all really, really wealthy. We have a lot of guns. We have ranches. We have a plan. Like, we're not messing around. And it's because real estate, we cracked the code in real estate. We were able to get a lot of money. So we're now empowered. I'm not scared about gas prices.
Right.
I don't care about who the politicians are. I'm empowered now and I'm taking back control. And I think we're going to see over the next 2 to 3 years, this shift between the haves and the have-nots, the people that are going to step up as leaders and the people that are going to be sheep for the rest of their lives. And you got to make a decision on which side of history you're going to land on, because people are making decisions for you right now and they're not good decisions. And you can bury your head in the sand for only so long. And at some point, you're going to have to pop your head up and go, shit. And by then, it's probably going to be too late for you. And I have a feeling that everybody on this call wants to get embarrassingly wealthy really, really fast so they can take back control. So I commend you for it. I think it's admirable. I think you're setting a standard for yourself and your family, and you cannot let your foot off the gas. You got to go hard. We're in fourth quarter. We're on the wrong side of the field. We got to light the F up. And if we do that and we play full out, this is where strength comes from. This adversity, this pressure cooker we're all in, this is the moment where the pipe is going to burst or the diamond's going to get made. And you got to make the call. Am I capable of taking this pressure, taking this stress? Because there's some kid out there in the future. You haven't met them yet. And I've seen a bunch of young kids on this call. There's a kid out there. You haven't met him yet. And your skills and capabilities, your life that you're creating for yourself right now is going to impact that kid. And you're going to change that kid's life. You don't know it yet. But if you show up to that kid, not prepared, no skills and capabilities, not able to help, you're going to live your life full of regret and you're going to let your community and your country down. So it's that simple. You're all here for a reason. Do something with it. Don't bitch out. Don't let your foot off the gas. And together, we're much stronger. That's it.
Love it.
Ken Spade, you got this, brother. I love that. Ken Spade, you got this. Take it. Take it. Love and energy. Love and energy. I love it. That's it, guys. Wholesale Hotline. Jamil, you good?
I'm great.
Clever Investor on Instagram. Follow me.
Clever
Just
Investor
wanted
on
to get Cody's.
Instagram.
Yep. There you go. Put that in the chat if you would.
Awesome. Love you
We'll
guys.
send out an
Until
email
next
to everybody
week.
on the live, and we'll also post in the Facebook group everything about Cody, all his links. Guys, epic guest. I saw a lot of people in here saying they want him back in 2022. Guys, please go into Facebook group, our Wholesale Hotline Facebook group, and just tag Cody Sperber and let's freaking light him up and show him the love. Let's get him back here first quarter 2022. Let's start the year off right.
Love it.
Thank you guys. Have a great week. We'll see you next week on Wholesale Hotline. Later.
Later.
Or just say squat up.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
What are you doing?
I didn't say that thing.
Why?
I don't know. I
Okay.
forgot.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Cool. I think we should use the one where Jamil doesn't say anything.